What about fees? You know, they talked about fees, and even the AGF talked about fees, and he tried to link that with the rank, especially of senior advocate. He says, well, people have tried to make it look like, well, it's time for you to jack up your fee or to change the way or your status in the society. How true is that?
Well, you know, I think that's a perception that the AGF has, and
no, he's saying he was saying that this is a perception of some people. So I'm quite
sure. Yeah,
sure.
definitely, that's a perception of some people.
Isn't it true?
It's the perception of a few people, but I'll tell you that there are quite a number of distinguished senior advocates of Nigeria who are doing the right thing. But it's very easy for one or two bad people to taint the entire thing. So the people who are really, you know, rolling up their sleeves and doing quality work, providing quality legal services, those are the unsung heroes. But once one person, one bad apple shows up, then the public tend to tilt to that perception. No doubt. Yeah. I mean, the rank of senior advocate, you know, it's good in any profession to recognize and reward quality. I mean, it's good so that, I mean, whatever profession you are, there must be something for you to aspire to. There must be a goal for you to aspire to. Whilst the process might not be what it ought to be, but I think by and large, it's better to have it than not to have it.
Well, looking at the problems within the judiciary, you know, one might say it's no different from, say, the problems in the legislature or the executive. But sometimes they look really enormous that, you know, you don't even know where to start from. And where would you say we should start from, assuming we should start tackling? Because it seems we've been talking about reforms for a very long time and we've just been talking about it.
Yes, we've been talking about reforms for a long time. I would think that in the judiciary, a place to start will be in the appointment of judges. You know, what we have now largely is that people, merit is not the sole determining factor in the appointment of judges. We need to go back to that and insist that it is not your ethnicity nor your clan that matters when you're going to be appointed as a judge or elevated to perhaps a court of appeal or the Supreme Court. Because that's what happens now. If there's a vacancy in the Supreme Court, it's a federal character that determines how it is filled. And then when you now go to federal character of that particular zone, they take the most senior person from that zone to fill the vacant position, which I think is responsible for part of the problems in the judiciary. What they ought to do, even if you're going to say federal character, is to look for the best person from that zone, not just the most senior. Look for the best candidate, male or female, and appoint that person. Because when we start to promote merit, then we will see that the quality will improve.
How do you think that would trickle down? I'm wondering, you know, because one would think that maybe you say starts at the state level, but you're looking all the way at the Supreme Court.
No,
how will that trickle down?
It's the same thing, because if you do that at the Supreme Court, you send the message down the line. Mm-hmm. And because don't forget that the NJC is chaired by the CJN, and the second most senior judge at the Supreme Court. Now, if those people get there on merits, they are more likely, because they also approve judges appointed by the states. So they are more likely to also say, look, even at the state level, go and give us the best candidate.
Okay. All right. Idaye Opi joins us on phone now. He's also a legal practitioner. Morning, and thank you for joining us. What will your suggestion be on improving the administration of justice?
Well, good morning. Thank you very much for the question. I will look at it from maybe say 2, 3, 4 perspectives. I'll take the first one. The first one is the issue of funding. The judiciary should be self-accounting to fund itself. A situation where the CJ goes cap in hand to beg for money from the executive will not help the system. This thing has been said several times. So why they don't want to let the judiciary be self-accounting, nobody knows. The judiciary has to be self-accounting. He who pays the piper, he takes the tune. So let the judiciary keep its money, let it come from the federation account, let them on the first charge pay direct to them. That way you will insulate them from their frictions with the executive. Then the second one is the electronic system of recording proceedings in court. In 2012, we surprised that almost all the courts in Nigeria record longhand. A judge is carrying out cross-examination in a case. Sometimes it will last 3, 4, 5 days or 5 different sessions of proceedings. He's writing in longhand. And it piques my imagination how we expect that we're going to have justice delivery. Justice delayed is justice denied. If a judge is writing in longhand, you talk, you write, you wait. After he's finished writing, he calls you on you to continue, and you continue and he writes. Obviously, that stares us in the face that there is no way we can have speed with such an arrangement. And around us in the world, people have moved on. Not the electronic system of recording in court. We don't use it here. In some courts outside Nigeria, as soon as you finish proceeding, they'll print the record of proceeding and hand over to you immediately there. The next day or that very day. Here, you have to wait for months or weeks to get it. And then
but
we move on again.
Yeah.
Please, hello? Yeah. Then you talk about corruption and judiciary. Mm-hmm. Well, I know that a high-level person, a stakeholder in judiciary, retired Justice Karidinasho once said that they are billionaire judges. I'm quoting him. In open, he said they are billionaire judges. I did not say that. He said so. Now, if a man at that level can make such a statement, that's serious. I think what we should do, in my own humble opinion, is to do what the other speaker, the other guest, Mr. Gunyi said. Let's be proactive. It is high time we start investigating accounts of people in this country. Let us investigate your accounts. There are ways and means to do this. If a man is living above his means, you can check him out. And then if he has issues to answer, he answers to the appropriate authority. We shouldn't wait until somebody writes a petition.